One of the things we talked about kind of in between the lines was how society has changed. And one of the ongoing conversations in dating at the moment is around how women are struggling to find compatible men because women are more educated. I think there's more women graduating with college degrees now. The top 10% of men seem to be having all of the sex, according to some studies that I read, a lot of the sex. And then there's this bottom 50% of men that are somewhat disenfranchised because they're not getting the attention. They're probably turning to things like pornography. Women are dating up and to the right, I'm told.
Hypergamy.
So women, did read a study that said the majority of women are still looking for a man who's earning more than them. But in a world of equality, which we all agree is a good thing, where women are more educated now, there isn't enough men up and to the right anymore. So there's this sort of disparity between, what women are looking for, but actually what's available in the market potentially.
These are all facts. However, we have to interrogate this data, but more so, I think we have to interrogate the narrative that's being handed to us. So I feel like the narrative that's being handed us today is that, the top 20% of men or 10% of men, they're good, but the bottom 80%, you suck. That couldn't be further from the truth. And I think we have to acknowledge, and this is where, two things could be true. One, we live in a patriarchal society, absolutely. But do we need to extend more grace to our men? Absolutely, we do. Are men lonelier than they ever have been? Absolutely. Are men confused? Absolutely, right? Are men being misled? Absolutely. Let's extend more grace to our men. What does that mean? That means being aware that we do live in a loneliness epidemic, being aware that less than 27% of men have a friend that they can feel is a confidant, that 0% of them now feel like they have someone who they can go to at 3 a.m. in the morning. It's being aware of these things. It is saying, you know what? I can appreciate other traits and characteristics outside of how much you earn or how tall you are, right? It's important to be able to understand. And you just asked me, you said, what are the most, I said nothing about how much money someone makes, nothing about how tall they are, right? But at the same time, what we have to understand is the narrative that is handed to about women is that all women are looking for the 6 foot plus CEO, right, who's making over 100,000 pounds or dollars a year. And that is also not the case.
This study here says, despite advancements in gender...
Bro, he ain't talking about nothing, bro. Like, what is a man supposed to do with that information he just said? We need to. Who is we? Women? Women ain't gonna change how the fuck they feel, right? You laid out all these factors of what it is. Men are struggling, men are struggling, men are sad, men are sad, men are lonely, men have no one to talk to, men have no one to talk to, men are broke, men are short, right? That ain't gonna change nothing. Oh, it's women are aware of it and they still want who the fuck they want, dog. You could try to point out these outliers of women who have been faced with reality at this point when their standards have to come to a reality. These are only women that are going to be out here that have come to the realization that they're not qualified to get top 20%, or then they don't want to deal with the drama that comes with the top 20%, right? These are women that typically have tended to hit the wall, have had experience with men to realize what the fuck come with that, bro. But these young women coming up in the day and age of social media, bro, you got me fucked up if you think these women out here don't want somebody over 6 foot and making a bunch of bread, bro. That's all the fuck they see. And that's all the fuck they want. And it's biology, bro. It's hypergamy. Like, you can't debate that, bro. You know what I'm saying? We need to be aware of this. They can be aware of it all day. Oh, yeah, that sucks. I know men are lonely. But these women are becoming more and more successful, more and more competitive, more and more masculine, more and more aggressive, more and more entitled, more and more everything in the world, which is going to make their damn selection pool even more finite. But they not trying to hear it. They going to still be trying to get that man until that wall come and say, no. Shout out, you gotta go to Office Max to find who you want. But I'm saying, bro, like, he talking about all this kumbaya shit, bro. That's not real. He sound like a woman right now talking. You got to keep it a spade, bruh. Because it's like hypergamy is here, and hypergamy makes it much more difficult for men to find women and for women to find men, because supply and demand is like that. And you can't pseudo science or pseudo talk or date talk out of supply and demand, right? Women got to lessen their standards, bruh. And how many women out here are going to volunteer to lessen their standards? Fuck no, bruh. Fuck no, dog.
Equality research indicates that better educated women still tend to prefer husbands who earn more than they do. That's from the Institute for Family Studies. An analysis of online dating behaviors across 24 countries found that women are more selective than men, showing a marked preference for men with higher incomes and education levels, which again proves this up and to the right thing. But there's just not enough men up and to the right, so there's going to be a lot of women that are somewhat dissatisfied according to this.
All right, so the challenge, if I'm really interrogating this, is one is it's talking about highly educated women. So we know that highly educated women are on average dating hypergamously, right? Which is what you're talking about.
Most women date hypergamously.
Someone who's dating someone who has the same or higher level of education, the same or higher level of financial resources. And why is that? Because that's the script that society handed to women to say the only way you can survive is by finding a man who can deliver this to you, right? And I think we have to accept where it came from. It was this terrible society of, you know what, you're not going to be safe unless you find a man who can provide. But
what the fuck is he talking about? It literally comes from you're not going to survive unless you find a man that's capable of keeping you alive, bruh. Take it back to the motherfucking Stone Ages, bruh. That's literally where the fuck that shit came from. Hypergamy came from that. I need the fucking biggest, strongest motherfucker to make sure I'm safe. That's biologically embedded in these women, right? That's one thing. But then interrogate it to unpack why it is. If you're trying to say society has made it that way, we hear what's going to keep a woman from not thinking about things that way. They're not about to be out here looking for the short king. They're not about to be out here looking for the brokey, right? Women want to feel safe. They want to feel secure. They want to feel like a dude got them, bro. Regardless of how, that's funny, bro. It's funny. It's so ironic. Regardless of how successful a woman becomes, how professional she is, how career driven she is, how independent she is, when it comes to her man, she wants that man to make her feel like a woman, bro. So all this shit you talking about, it does no good for anybody, bro. It's like false hope, and then you just saying something to say something. You need to unpack it. We need to interrogate it. Why is that? Fuck it. Who cares? Why is the sky blue? The sky's not changing. You know what I'm saying? Why are women hypergamous? I mean, it's biologically embedded in women to why they're hypergamous, bro. It ain't changing. Women are who they are.
Fast forward to today, a large percentage of highly educated women are dating this way. But that's not all women. The other part,
all women are hypergamous,
are women
bro.
beginning to out-earn men and out-educate men? Absolutely. In certain cities, not in everywhere of the world, men on average still earn more income. So if you look at the narrative that's handed to us,
it's not a narrative,
say,
bro.
Well,
it's facts.
you know what? Men on average still earn more. But my point is this. My point is that I think we all need to reevaluate what it is that we want.
Who is we, bro? Who is we? You mean women? You mean women? Women are not going to reevaluate shit until it's too late because of supply and demand. There is a supply of dick out there salivating for their ass that women conflate as attention. And as long as they get this attention, there will be no self-awareness. You find me a self-aware woman, I'll find you a fucking alien, bro. You know what I'm saying? Or I'll find you a woman that's hit the wall, dog. These women are not self-aware because society has ruined them. They've been all poisoned to think they all deserve the cream of the crop, which they don't, bro. And they're going to go continue getting thrown through enough dick, through enough trauma, and just be fed up with what comes with the man that they want. then they'll come to settle and realize, you know what, him being 6'3" isn't really that important. You know, him making 6 figures isn't really that important, especially when I make 6 figures, bro. But then at the same time, like, women still gonna have to battle that internal struggle when they know they make more money than that man. It does something to them. It makes them feel like that man is beneath them. It's a natural instinct, bro. They want to look up to that man, dog. Women that can balance that and not have an issue with that, those are hard to come by, bro. There's too much battling them, too much beating them up.
Do we need to have a partner for most of us? Or should I say, this is me speaking out of privilege, for many of us in the West. No longer do we need to have a partner for pragmatic reasons. If you think about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and you just divided it into 3 categories, you would say the bottom kind of rung is all of our psychological and physical needs, food, shelter, right? Then that kind of middle rung is belonging and connection. And the top rung is self-evolved. We want to be, self-evolved, living our best self, contributing the most that we ever could to this world. Marriage and partnership and selecting a partner was largely based on that lower rung all the way through to the 1960s. That's like yesterday, if you think about how long we've lived.
But isn't that evolution
social
as well?
media,
because
bro.
you see the same thing in the animal kingdom with like the orangutan, which has like 98% the same DNA as us. They still select for survival factors.
So I think what's interesting when you look at different mammals and the evolutionary biology is that there's lots of similarities, but then there's also lots of traits that are different. So it's one of those where we have to appreciate that as Homo sapiens, right? We are unique, and we live in a structure that we have largely created ourselves. We're debating about the institution of marriage. I mean, marriage didn't exist for the vast majority of our existence.
But this golden rule thing, you told me about this.
Yeah.
And you told me that it's cross-cultural.
Yes. So it is.
And this golden rule thing, please explain it for people. But for me, that is evidence that there's still an evolutionary component to selection for men and women. And I was reading this study that said women, almost 50% of women prefer to date only men that are taller than themselves, while only 13% of men prefer to date only women that are shorter than themselves. And another study revealed that women are most
biology,
satisfied
man.
when their partner is approximately 8 inches taller, whereas men are most satisfied with a height difference of about 8 centimeters taller than their partner.
Yes.
So women clearly have a preference here, a significant amount of them, to dating a man that is bigger than they are.
Yes. But all right. Yes. This is so good. All right. A couple of things here. Mm-hmm. Do we have these preferences? Absolutely. So a lot of this handed us through evolutionary and our biology? Absolutely. Is most of it handed to us through socialization? Definitely. Do we change as we increase our well-being? Yes. So here's my point. If you were to go back and say, Zendaya, look, you go back 10 years, say, Zendaya, look, would you prefer to date a man that is taller than you? I would say there's a good chance she would say, I would prefer it. Yes. Has that been her result? No. Does she appear to be incredibly happy and satisfied? Yes. Right? With Tom Holland? That's from my outside looking in? Yes. Why could that have been the case? Because she grew up being handed a script. She grew up the Disneyfication of relationships. She saw the prince and how large the prince always was in comparison to the princess. She saw that the prince was able to pick up the princess. Like, she saw all of these things. She believed all of these things. And then as she became more mature, as she realized that she doesn't need anyone's validation, as she understood the things and the traits that she loved, she was like, this Tom Holland guy is hot.
Yeah, but that is an exception, not the rule.
Facts.
Because, and also Tom Holland's got 30 million in the bank.
Facts.
So,
Yeah, but this does happen. You hear short
happens.
kids.
Bruh, get the hell out of here, bro. Apparently this bro got like 20 some years in dating date matchmaking or whatnot, bro. And he's been sounding like a whole little utopian this whole fucking time, bro. And he just got cooked by the host. Tom Holland is fucking Spider-Man, bro. His height don't matter, dog. His height don't matter, bro. Show me a damn brokey short motherfucker. Show how many, what percentage of these? Even that's a fucking small percentage, bro. Tom Holland is 0.0000001% of men. How many short ass, broke ass men out here can pull women, bro? Especially today, 0.0005% of motherfuckers out here, dog. Not the old heads. The old heads, it ain't matter how tall you was. When the old heads that could talk, got that game. You feel me? But like the new wave and the new dudes who just feel depressed and you know feel like shit, feel like the world don't want them because they're short. They gonna have a hard time, bro. But yeah, bro. Like it's bro must deal with more women than men because this don't help men at all. Don't help men at all. Women need to really think. Nah, bitch gonna want what she want until it's too late.